A great question being asked is, how common are these ethical violations that I talk about in this Therapists Gone Wild series? And exact statistics have actually been really hard to find, but I can say confidently that the answer is very, very low. We're talking a fraction of 1%. Because if we look at the numbers, there are hundreds of thousands of licensed therapists in the United States. About 120,000 licensed psychologists, about 60,000 licensed MFTs, and roughly 180,000 licensed social workers, just to name three big categories of licensed therapists. In contrast, the number of complaints filed is generally counted in the hundreds, maybe in the low thousands. And those are just the complaints. The actual number that are verified as true violations is generally about a quarter of those at most. But I will share that when there are ethical violations found, over a quarter of them do seem to be about sexual misconduct with clients in some fashion. After that, almost a quarter of them are insurance or fee violations. In terms of the outcome, only about 10 or so percent end up being license revoked. And again, that's 10% of the verified complaints, which was only about 25% of the total number of complaints, which was only a fraction of 1% of the total number of practicing therapists. So it's a very, very small percentage. Now that said, in my view, 0 is the correct percentage for these extreme ethical violations. We are in a sacred field that demands trust from our patients, and even one person doing something like in these cases is really screwing up the opportunities for clients to get help. And it's a huge part of why I share these cases, and we use these in class all the time to teach law and ethics to our new students and budding psychotherapists. Because we want to get to the point where none of these things ever happen and ensure that patients are getting safe, effective care when they go to a therapist without fear of something like this happening.